A CrossFit gym with 723 clients. Yes, it can be done. And I've got the guy who did it here today. Welcome to Run a Profitable Gym. I'm your host, Mike Warkentin. Before we go further, please hit subscribe. I want you to get every show, including insights from Chris Cooper, Two Brain founder, and interviews with top gym owners that I do here every month. So hit subscribe. Now, here we go. We talk a lot on this show about the 150 client model. You can earn $100,000 a year with 150 clients who pay about $205 a month. What most people miss is that these are just your first targets. You can, of course, go way beyond them. Daniel Dobbs Brown did just that. He runs 2 gyms in Santiago, Chile. Number 1, Accion CrossFit Providencia was number 1 on our leaderboard for clients in August. He had 723 members at that gym. His second location in Las Condes was 4th with 418. So he took up 2 spots on our top 10 leaderboard for a total of between 1,100 and 1,200 members. These are CrossFit gyms. We're going to find out how he did it. Danielle, welcome. How are you today?
Thanks, Mike. Hi, I'm here at the other side of the world.
I love it. I haven't had someone from South America on the show yet, so I'm happy that it's you. We met in Chicago briefly, and I said I would have you on the show. Here you are, being number 1 on our leaderboard. So I'm going to put you on the spot right off the bat because people want to know. What's the single biggest reason that you have so many members at your gyms?
Oh, mainly it's about like the mission. Like we're pretty clear about we want to attract as many people as possible. Like here in Chile and South America, the sedentary is really a big issue. And when I found CrossFit, I really found the way to make an impact in people's life. So at starting point, I decided I want to make it like available for everyone, like CrossFit not being this like elite thing, like just for regular dudes, like how to get your health better, how to improve your health. And that's like the main reason, like I continue pushing to get new members. Like every people count, every person, like you can have an impact in their health, in their lives. And that's our main driver in the end. So when I started working with Two Brain, I worked with my mentor, like he told me like, okay, the business, the 150 members business model and all that, and I told him right away, like I want big numbers. I want to get to as many people as possible, and that's my mission, and that's what we're trying to accomplish in here.
Okay, so that's great. What I want to do now is I want to dig in because big numbers like that's a great goal. It has 2 parts. The first one is acquiring clients. The second part is retaining them. So I want to talk to you about those 2 things specifically so that people understand exactly how you're doing it, because you can't obtain big numbers if you're bad at sales. You can't obtain big numbers if all your clients are bleeding out the back door while you're filling them in the front door. So first things first, how do you get these clients? How do you acquire clients? What's your sales process like? Walk me through that.
We used to have like different approach, like prior COVID, like we were doing just organic things with our Instagram. Like I got a really big marketing team, like really focused on social media, Instagram and Facebook, and we were really hard on that. Like we post every day, we create content every day, and that was like our main strategy at first. Post-COVID, like things kind of change. Like everything is more like paid media right now. Like we're gonna have a change in strategy, but we have keeping pushing those numbers. Like I don't know, like everyone in my team knows how many members we need to attract today, like how many trial classes we need in one day. Like I'm really like driven by numbers, and I try to make my team like driven by numbers. So that's one of the first things we apply in here. Like it's like getting small goals and being able to know, okay, we need to attract like 100 members, okay, 25 per week, okay, we need 7 each day, and we are getting 7 each day, we're in right track. If not, we need to keep like pushing and try new stuff, like always been trying new stuff. If I had to be like really 100% honest, like we always been trying new stuff. Like I've been like researching Two Brain material since like 2013, something like that. I read Chris' book, and I joined the mentorship like in 2019 at the end, but I was like consuming all like free information from Two Brain, like far from now.
So if I'll summarize that for you listeners. So first of all, an extensive research into the business of gym ownership that's been going on. Daniel's been doing that for a long time. Next, you've got it sounds like a heavy organic social media publication plan. So you're doing that, Daniel, every day. You're putting out content all the time, correct?
Yeah. Also, we are like 55 people in my team. Like I got 3 people in marketing. Like I got 5 people in customer service. Like we're a really big team. So that's also a way to support that kind of numbers. Like I got to a point where I realized that if I wanted to go big, I need to form a big team. I need a good team to support all that, and that's like building my leadership. It's been one of my main challenges, and what I'm working every day with my mentor.
Wow. So that's a huge team. And that team actually has marketing people on it, and you are doing paid marketing. And what I heard from you is exactly what our top salespeople in Two Brain tell me. They know their exact numbers. I need this many leads to get this many appointments, to get this many sales, to support this many members that supports this business and this profit margin. They know those numbers cold 100%. Daniel just rattled them off the top of his head because he thinks about them all the time. So that's a secret. If you are looking for larger member counts, you have to know these numbers. And our best marketing people, and these are people outside the gym industry that we consult with, they'll tell you, you need to know how many leads you need to get to figure out how many appointments you need to get sales. That whole funnel needs to be laid out perfectly. Two Brain does have these funnels built for clients. So that's fascinating. So I need to know, how do you get people in the gym to make sure that you retain them? Because we often hear that gyms with big numbers struggle to retain people because it's just such a huge collection of people. How do you onboard your new clients to make sure they stay for years, not months?
I've been doing something like a little bit counterintuitive. Like I haven't been able to apply like a no sweat intro model because it kind of like stopped the amount of people we're getting in. So we kind of like accept kind of like failures in the first 90 days process. Like we got our 90 days like delivered, and normally we are fighting. Nowadays we are struggling with the 30 first days. Like that's where like my CSM is working and where my front desk is working right now. And we normally got a churn there like of 50%, something like that. And that's,
sorry, how many percent?
Why we need to keep pushing. 50%.
1.5 or 5.0?
5.0.
Okay.
So we lost kind of half of the members we get in 1 month. Okay. Normally, it's people who don't come back again. It's like we don't have any contact points of them. They don't reply, and that's it. But we keep pushing. That we keep sending emails, try to bring them back. Like we got to really like figure out the system. Like we're contacting people like who used to be members, like people who want to attract, like be able to work with all the kind of customers we got and try to push them. Like having a big team gives you lots of opportunities for failure and for keep pushing. Like it's kind of that idea. It's harder. Like it requires much more systems built, but in the end, it pays off in how many numbers you can get. Like if you really like push it, like it will bring back.
Okay, really so hard. What do you? So you do have your first, you said your 90 days are mapped out pretty carefully, correct?
Yeah, my 30 days. I gotta be honest. Like, yeah, my 30 days, it's well, like to apply the 90 days, haven't been able, but also we have found out that from 90 days, like from 30 to 90, we normally got like a good number of retention. And at that point, like we need to push past the 30 days, and normally we got a good number.
But you've got a client success manager, right? So this is an interesting one. Gym owners out there, if you do not have this, a client success manager is someone who's going to be very, very important in acquiring and retaining members, because that person's job is essentially to acclimate new people to your gym, retain them, and maybe even reacquire them. Daniel, would you tell me a little bit about what that client success manager does at your gym day to day?
We're working in that position right now. Like we haven't been able to implement it 100%. But that's one of the challenges we've been working on. Like post-pandemic, like we really like kind of shrink the business a little, and we're trying to focus more in continue with the big numbers, but try to be more like, I don't know, not try to bring everyone. One of the main things we changed when I started working with Two Brain was like changing the with clients and trying to attract, like changing how we attract. Not everyone is going to be a good fit for my gym, and we've been like polishing that and try to work on that. And our next step is like really implementing the customer success manager with the idea for them to be able to track more. Like goal setting is one of the main challenges I got to finish this year. Like I have been trying to implement that like for 2 years, haven't been successful with that. But I know that can be a game changer. So we're trying to focus more on retention and try to focus more in goal settings to help people like really get their goals. And that's the main, like nowadays we are implementing the customer success managers with that focus, and 100% that focus, like just goal settings and try to take retention mainly.
So that's interesting. So you said that, I mean, let me get know if I have this laid out correctly. It sounds to me like you have a really, really great marketing plan and you're able to acquire a lot of members every month. Is that right?
Yeah, normally we're attracting 70 to 100 members a month. Like,
Wow.
yeah,
Do you mind telling me a
it's
little bit about your paid advertising? Are you spending a lot of money on that or a medium amount, or how are you doing that?
Oh, it's been trial and error. We've been like pushing hard like for the last 4 months, and
Yeah.
we kind of stopped paid marketing like on July,
Yeah.
and we've been like pushing just organic marketing, and we have realized that we are getting to 75, 80 new members. Like it doesn't pay off. Like to, in today's like we're using more marketing for awareness, like more than try to bring like qualified leads. We're just like putting the brand in and all that, and like trying to push some of the initiatives where we're implementing. Like we got one initiative right now. We're working with people with diabetes, and we're like doing a whole project with that with 10 people with diabetes, and we're trying to change their lifestyle with the doctor. We're working with an MD. Also, we got this senior program. Like we train elder, not that elder, like 60 plus people, and we train them like for $1 a month. Like it's just yeah, it's a huge like success in here. Like normal people past the age of 60, they are not moving a lot here in South America. Like normally doctors prescribe them to stay at home and don't move at all. So we're trying to change that, and we're doing CrossFit classes for elderly people, and well, we charge them $1 for the month. It's just symbolic, but we got like 70, 80 people like so committed to changing their lives, and you really see the impact of CrossFit in those kind of people. Like they really start like seeing the evolution of how health you can recover your health and start being more independent and all that. It's pretty wonderful. So we push lots of like the marketing from the heart, to say so, like
Mhm.
lots of things about feelings and how people you can make people feel better with CrossFit and exercise. So that's our approach right now. We're trying to generate value a lot. Like we're working organic like content, trying to use the coaches, use testimonials a lot. I normally writing blog every week, like trying to like we push lots of information like to social media. Like that's if I got like one piece of advice to give to everyone, like keep pushing content. Like that's something I learned from Coop, like from the beginning. Like he was always pushing new content, and that's something we've been doing like from scratch. Like that's something I really copy from what I learned from Two Brain, and I feel like that pays off in the long run.
It sounds like you're doing an incredible thing by getting that many clients in the door without a ton of paid marketing right now, where you're using mostly organic stuff. Where can people follow you? What's the best place for them to look at your social media so they find out what you're doing?
Just follow Accion CrossFit. Probably it's going to be hard to find, but Accion is action in Spanish.
It's
Accion CrossFit.
ACCION in English, and it's
That's right.
pronounced
Yeah,
the way Daniel said it. So
Accion.
that's how you'll find it. And yeah, that's right. And it's that's
Yeah.
on Instagram. Is that your best account, or where would you recommend people find you?
Yeah, that's the best account. There you will see like all the content we are pushing every day. Like and normally that's our most like with most content social media right now.
Mhm. Okay, that's
That's what
good.
we're pushing.
Talk to me. Average revenue per member. Do you track that stat?
Yeah, 100%. Like, I got to be honest. Like, I'm a numbers guy, 100%. Like,
Yeah.
I've been tracking numbers. I used to work on finance, so for me, it's like
Okay.
I got my dashboard and I got all my. For me, numbers are the reason why I wake up every day, every morning. Like, I need to know my numbers. If not, I'm scared. Like,
Yeah, I like
eh,
that. I'm with you on that. So are you comfortable talking a little bit about your average revenue per member, or give us some ballpark ideas? I'd love to know where it's at.
yeah, that's going to be really like we're close to 85, $90 per member. Like, that's
Is
normally
that
where
US?
we are.
Is that
Yeah,
US?
US dollars. Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
yeah. I try to give you the US dollars.
Thank you.
Normally, we're at that point. We've been pushing like our average revenue per member like for quite some like last couple of 3-4 years.
Yeah.
Like we've been changing. We used to have like 90% of our revenue came from group classes. Now like we are close to 78% of our revenue come from classes. We also got lots of physiotherapy. Like we got a group of kinesiologists here working, and they bring like 10%, 12%, something close to that from revenue. Also, we got a personal training, like one-on-ones. Also,
Mhm.
it's a huge revenue income. And also, we got cafeterias in coffee shops in both of our boxes. So also that also brings revenue to the table. We kind of like diversify a little bit because pre-pandemic, we realized we were just like group classes, and we need to change to a higher value. Like that's something from Two Brain. Like I apply. I said, okay, I need to change that, and we've been pushing that, and we've been really kind of successful. Like it's been a huge increase. Like it helps me like retain my coaches. Like my coaches have better wages. Like I got also a huge offer for my customers. Like it's been really great pushing that. But we're still like far. I want to. My target is to get to 120. Like that's my goal. That's my scope. But we're working on that. Like we got some ideas.
Do you happen to know off the top of your head what percentage of your revenue comes from personal training?
Personal training is like 9%, something like that.
Okay, so that's interesting. Yeah, CrossFit gyms often, like when I ran a CrossFit gym, it was 100% group classes. I didn't even know you could do personal training. So for you to tack on 9% personal training, that's great. If that number goes up, so much the better. My other question is, you said that you have some members that pay a symbolic fee of $1 a month. Is that right?
Yeah. 100%.
So does that mean in your average revenue per member that you have people on the other end of it who are paying closer to 200?
Yeah.
So what are they, what is that? If you just take your average $200 client, what is that person buying from you every month? Do you have an idea? Is it personal training and group?
Normally, normally he's buying like group classes, some nutrition service.
Yeah, there you go.
And personal training. We're changing nutritional service right now, so it hasn't been that strong in the last couple of months. Yeah. But normally those are the three services we normally give people, and they're kind of the huge success right now is having like group classes and personal training, like having one coach working in some of your weakness, and also being able to participate in group classes, the community, and all of the CrossFit stuff that's really great. And also, if you got injured, I got this physiotherapist who also coaches, so it's a great match in there.
Okay. So what we've got here is you've got a large number of people and you have increased your average revenue per member, and you're looking at driving it up probably another, you said about $40, $45. Is that correct? Kind of your goal would be 120?
Yeah. We're trying to implement new stuff. Like we've been working with coaches. Like I got I got 30 coaches right now.
Wow.
And for my 30 coaches, we're working now with a coaching mentor from CrossFit. Like he's mentoring my head coaches, and now I'm trying to push my coaches to be able to give more value. Like from the 30 coaches I got, only 7 are giving like PTs, like personal training. So I'm trying to implement a new system to make them all like understand how to give value, like using the help first model, and try to make them like understand how, like here in South America, like there's still like a huge gap in coaching, how much value you can give as a coach. And we're trying to work on that. That's like my main goal also from 2024, like being able to give my coaches more tools for them to start like working with people and try to make them like build their own brand and all that.
Let's say Fantasyland, you get to your goal of $120 or $125 per member. What would you do with that extra revenue? How would that change your business and your life? What would you do with it?
I'm kind of crazy right now because Nowadays, I'm trying to work with companies. Like I'm implementing wellness, programs with companies in order to change how companies normally work. Like they're focused on performance, making the people work better or work good, but they're not focused in make them like give them the tools to be able to perform better. Like CrossFit lifestyle, how you live your life, it's going to impact like in your work. It doesn't matter what you do for work. It's if you got a balanced life, you got good relationships, you do your workouts every day, you eat well, you're going to perform well. I'm trying to work with companies right now and doing some consulting with them. I'm trying to implement some programs. Like we've been working like with 3 companies right now. It's been a huge success, and we're trying to push new companies with that. Also, we're trying to build a model where we are implementing CrossFit boxes in companies. So we're trying to work with that also. I work with a human resource guy that we are trying to implement also soft skills like development for people, like using CrossFit in order to develop like soft skills for companies also. Like I got so many things going on right now. Like and that's one of the things I love of the CrossFit model, that it gives me the freedom to just do stuff. Like we're hosting a level 1 this weekend. We're going to host a couple of new courses in the last couple of months, in next month. Like we're implementing new stuff every day, and with more revenue in the table, I will bring my family to vacation and continue working.
Okay, so that's fascinating. You got big plans. I hope you get there to do that because I want to see what you do with it. I got to ask you this question now. So the other half we talk
Yeah.
about big numbers is acquisition and retention. So let's talk retention. You said that you have some monthly churn. What are you doing to retain your members? How are you going to get that length of engagement up? What are your plans? Because I know you're thinking about that.
Yeah, I'm pushing with my team right now. I want to go all in with the customer success manager. Like we are implementing some stuff, but they're my team is not 100% convinced. I'm trying to convince them like that's the bet we're going to do on the last month of the year, and I'm trying to push that. Like I feel like with the tools from TwoBrain and the team we got, I'm at the point that I need a customer success manager to really improve the we are at 12, 13 right now in churn, and that's not a number I'm happy with. So I'm
Sorry,
trying to
12,
push that to
13.
change that.
That's percent
12,
or what is?
13 churn. A percent, yeah.
So is
12% churn rate. Yeah.
okay. And every month?
Every month, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's an average churn rate. Like we used to work with 15. Nowadays we are in between 12 and 13. But I'm working with my mentor to push it to 5, 7. Like he's pushing me and really like holding me accountable to push it to that point. And I'm trying to change. Like changing is hard. Like
Yeah.
and that's the message for everyone who's listened to this kind of stuff. Like when you work with a mentor, many times it's about like your mentor is going to push you in the direction you won't feel comfortable going. But that's why you got a mentor. Like he really have the big picture. He's looking from the outside. It's going to be hard to change, but I got the best mentor in the world, and like he's pushing me, and he really like pushed me to be accountable with all my stuff, and we're going in the right direction. Like I know things are going to get just better.
Give him a shout out. Who is it? Who's your mentor?
Peter Bravosan.
He's a good guy. There you go. So Peter works with.
No, he's the best.
He's a good.
He's the
Yeah.
best. Sorry for the other mentors, but he's the best.
It's funny. Every client I talk to says their mentor is the best. And I think they might all be right. So let me ask you this: what would it do for your business? What would happen to your business? And I'll go further: the health of your local community. If you got your churn rate from the teens down to 5 or 7%, what would happen if that happened?
Oh, I will get closer to my goal. I got a personal goal to get to 5,000 members. Like
5,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I want to reach. Like prior to the pandemic, we used to have 3 locations, and we got 1,500 members, 1,600 members in 3 locations, and I wanna get closer to that number. I want to get to 5,000 members. Like I want to have like 5 locations. I want to have like I don't know a non-profit CrossFit to help like social people in social needs. Like I got so many plans and things I want to push so far. Like I really feel like CrossFit can change people's lives. Like I really dig into that. It changed my life. Like I'm an engineer. I coach classes. And I do my best to really live my life like the fullest I can. Like really following my dreams and following my heart to like do the stuff I love. And working with TwoBrain is one of the things I really enjoy with. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm just planning. Like I'm just enjoying myself, enjoying life. Like I really am not trying to think like if something I got from the pandemic is not planned that much. Like really like follow my heart and use my head to figure how things will work. Like and nowadays like I got a beautiful team, people I work with like every day. I got a chance to develop as a coach, as a mentor. I got so many challenges ahead. I got 2 kids. Like my life is great. Like I just can't complain about it.
That's good. So I'm going to summarize the retention section. I want to ask you a question at the end of it here. You've got a client success manager and you're working to get your churn down into the 5 to 7% range so that you can retain more members, help more people, and get into the 5,000 member mark, which is a huge goal, which is going to allow you to do a lot of really cool stuff with your business and with your life. What are 2 other small things? I'm talking like more tactical stuff. What are 2 other things you're doing to improve your retention? Do you have anything else that Peter's given you saying, here's how we're going to get to that 5 to 7% churn? What are you looking at?
I'm trying to push now the content creation. Like I'm working with my marketing team. We're probably going to push a podcast for our community, like trying to be able to deliver more on that.
Yep.
And the second, we're starting to push harder with companies like that. That bond with companies have been like giving some dividends right now, so we're pushing hard on that. And I've been doing some structure changes on my team. Like I'm really working on my coaching stuff. Like nowadays, like I put a mentor with my coaching staff, like both of my head coaches got a mentor right now. I got that service from CrossFit. It's been like really a game changer, and they are working with the coaching stuff. Like having 30 coaches makes it like really hard, really hard. But I feel like finally, like 10 years working on that, we are starting to get to that coaching spot that I always wanted, like be able to have coaches that really have impact in people's life and really like coach in classes. That's the main things.
Did I hear you mention goal review sessions? Is that something that's on your
agenda? Yeah, no, 100%. Like that's something I like. My CSM, that's the first task he's going to implement. Or she's going to implement, because I know who she is. Like I haven't been able to push that, but
that's on her to-do list, is to start getting goal review sessions in place.
Yeah, that's it first. Yeah, that's it first.
Okay. I'm really curious to see what happens for you, because two-brain data suggests that when you start doing goal review sessions with new clients, they stay longer and they end up paying more because they find out about more services that are going to help them solve their problems. So if you've got a ton of members and you start chipping away at goal review sessions with that membership group, I'm very curious to see what happens in 6 or 8 months with your length of engagement, your churn rate, and your average revenue per member, and your member count. Because if you retain members and you've got a marketing machine going, you might be able to add more. So like, is that just a dream come true for you if these goal review sessions would start to affect all those numbers?
That's part of the plan. Like normally we got a length of engagement right now of 18 months. Something like that.
You say 18?
18 months, yeah.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah, we got a good length of engagement, but the last couple of years, it's been harder to push that. So that's why we're trying to also implement that. Like we're kind of changing, like post-pandemic, like we're kind of changing. Like I want to go more for retention. For example, Providencia, that's our biggest location. Mm-hmm. We used to have 1,000 members in here. Now we are at 750, something like that. I don't want to push it to 1,000 members again. Like it's really too crazy. Like it doesn't make any sense. We got so many classes going on, but I want to get close to 850, 900 members, and then work in average revenue per member. Like kind of, so we're kind of doing the shift right now. Like we're going to implement like the CSM. We're trying to think more of how to retain more members and how to like have a higher value impact. Like that's how our main goals. Like in South America, probably like. You don't realize that, but we got a high average revenue per member. Like we're expensive box right now with many members, so that's kind of weird. But normally you will find average revenue per member close to $40 US dollars, like 45. I work with a couple of like boxes, and they normally got like a couple of them like $35 per revenue per member. Like it's really low.
So you're double that.
But try to push. To push that in this kind of market, it's really hard. Mm-hmm. But we're pushing, like that's the idea, and that we're striving to make like the fitness industry better. Like that's our main goal also.
That's fascinating. So listeners, to give you a summary here, if you want a lot of members, you need a marketing and acquisition plan, and you need a retention plan. Daniel mentioned something really interesting that I'm going to point out for you as well. Headcount times length of engagement times average revenue per member. That is the 3-part, the multiplication table of success for a gym. Because if you have a lot of members and they're paying a great rate, a high value rate, and they're receiving the service that they like, and they stay for a long time, you will change those members' lives. They'll become fitter and happier and healthier. And your business will support a huge team and provide you with the income you deserve for running a business. So those 3 parts again: length of engagement, average revenue per member, client count. You want all of them to be high, and they multiply each other. You can't just have a ton of clients at $1 a month. Daniel doesn't have that. He's got some high value clients at the other end that are balancing out that social work that he does to generate an average revenue per member that's actually double what it is locally. And he's working hard to make his retention better, so he holds on to more people and changes the city and probably the country. Is that accurate, Daniel? Have I got that summary pretty close?
It's the best summary I could have. Like, you're the best, like doing those summaries, like really perfect.
Okay, that's good. I didn't want to put words in your mouth, but that's what I'm getting from you, is that like you have a vision for stuff and it's changing your community, but you've also got an eye dialed in on those metrics, because if you don't, your business isn't going to work. It's not enough to just say, I want a bunch of members. You have to have a plan to get them and retain them and support your staff. And then we're not going to get into it today because it's a huge topic, but you're leading a team of 55 people. That's no longer teaching the squat. That's like leading a small army of people who are trying to do stuff. Yeah. That is a whole different entrepreneurial skill set. When you reach that level, the Tinker program with Tulane is probably where you need to be, because you need to level up as a person, not just as a CrossFit coach or a fitness trainer. Like, I won't even ask you the questions, Daniel, because I know the pressures of leading a huge team. We'll leave that to another show. But I want to thank you so much for being here. And just thanks so much for giving us the perspective from South America and talking to us about your huge client count. I appreciate it.
No, thanks a lot for the opportunity just to share what we're doing here. Thanks. Like, just a little piece of advice, like the numbers, like track your numbers. And when you finish tracking your numbers, go then and track them again. Like, really, like, be able to know your numbers so well, like you can have a conversation with anyone and you know how many people you got, your IRM, your leg of engagement, like, know all those numbers, and things are going to improve. I really push those numbers. Like, that's the main thing.
There's the piece of advice: taking the show, track your numbers, and when you do that, track them again, then do it again. That's how you'll find success as a gym owner. Two Brain Business has the data you need to compare your numbers to and give you targets and help you exceed the numbers you're currently at. So book a call with us if you want to hear more about that. That was Daniel Dobbs Brown. This is Run a Profitable Gym. I'm Mike Warkentin. Thanks for watching and listening. I really appreciate it. Please subscribe on your way out. And now here's Chris Cooper with the final message.
Hey, it's Two Brain founder Chris Cooper with a quick note. We created the Gym Owners United Facebook group to help you run a profitable gym. Thousands of gym owners just like you have already joined. In the group, we share sound advice about the business of fitness every day. I answer questions, I run free webinars, and I give away all kinds of great resources to help you grow your gym. I'd love to have you in that group. It's Gym Owners United on Facebook, or go to gymownersunited.com to join. Do it today.